What's up, everybody? It is the Fantasy Rugby Yanks podcast. My name is Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
And we are broadcasting from just outside Boston, Massachusetts. As always, it's Tuesday. It's a cold Tuesday here in Boston. And damn, that was a lot of fucking rugby.
Whoa, yeah. Yeah, little OD this weekend.
Yeah, right? As I said, I'm calling this Rugby Mega Weekend 1 or something like that. That's going to be the name of this particular episode. There was a lot. There was a lot to go on. Let's crack some beers and we'll talk about where you can find us. If you guys need to find us, other than the Podbean app, assuming you're listening there, we are on Spotify, we're on Google Play, we're on iTunes. Download us, rate us if you want. Tell your friends to download us. They don't have to listen. It's okay. Try and get us up the charts here.
Just in it for the downloads.
Yeah. All 225 of them.
I'm proud of every one of them.
Yes, we are. I'm proud of every one of those units.
I just watched that this week.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was Nick Kroll until I went back.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
oh, wait, that's Nick Kroll. Yes. Yes.
I'm having a panic attack right now.
And then the jazz guy has to throw his phone.
Yeah.
Jazz. Yeah, you're about to get embarrassed, dude, so chill out. Okay, enough of that. So we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna change the format a little bit today. We'll go in depth in the Six Nations matches themselves, and then we'll more or less breeze or comb over both Premiership and Super Rugby. Try and get a little bit more into the fantasy aspect, as this is supposed to be a fantasy rugby podcast. Yeah. That's the rumor, at least.
You can get so wrapped up in the rugby, though.
Yeah,
rugby
I can get wrapped up in all the rugby all I want. You know, it's very easy.
Yeah.
This weekend was very easy to get wrapped up in the rugby, actually.
Yes.
As we said, a lot happened.
A lot of surprises.
Yeah.
All around.
Yeah. There was.
Even if the results weren't
right
so much of a surprise, the actual rugby itself, the matches.
were
very surprising.
No, yeah, I can think of a few incidences over the whole course of the thing that definitely said, "Woo!"
Right.
Made me bug my eyes out for sure. All right, let's jump into it. Six Nations. Let's go right into Scotland, France. Well, allez les Bleus, and they decided screw you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck me, France.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. That was what surprised me most about this match was first off, France showing up big time, which they're going to do when they're at home.
They are good for one.
Right.
They're good for one, and then the rest will be eh.
And Scotland disappointed me, as I'm sure they've disappointed many people.
A lot
before.
of people, yeah.
They had so many opportunities and just could not put it away. I'm sure that missing Hogg and Hugh Jones is a major part of that.
Russell.
A lot of time, a lot of their opportunities they had out wide, they just didn't finish. And,
well,
and they had gaps, and the support wasn't there. So they'd have a runner, and nobody to offload to, nobody to pop it.
Very, very frustrating.
Yeah,
very frustrating stuff to watch. Yeah, I mean, part of it's definitely down to Adam Hastings not being on form. Because if he was on form, he should have easily been able to slot in at 10 instead of Horn.
Right.
And this game's probably a different game because when he's on form, he's just as good as Finn Russell. No doubt. We've seen him play very well for Glasgow. So it was very shocking to see that he was not in there. But clearly he's not in form, and if that's a big problem for Scotland with no Finn Russell available at the moment.
Right. Well, yeah, no Finn, no Hogg,
Yep.
no Hugh. That's three major pieces of their puzzle.
Very much. And then forward pack's been a little decimated too. Sam Skinner went out early in the whole thing. WP Nell is not going to be able to play anymore. Potential Achilles injury.
Oh, that's no
good.
We,
I think I saw that somewhere. Maybe it was just a dirty rumor.
Yeah. But on the good, I am enjoying watching Bamba play.
Yes.
Obviously I'm going to be partial to my props.
Of course you are.
That just to see a large man like that doing kind of skinny guy things too.
Yeah.
Running around on the loose, doing just some good shit out there.
Yep. Yeah, he's an exciting young prop. There's no question about it.
20?
Oh, something like that. Yeah, he's a kid. He looks very good. And then speaking of kids, you said it. we got to get used to hearing the names Dupont and Intimac paired up very, very often after this one.
Dupont to Intimac. Just get comfortable hearing that combination.
Yeah, hearing that combo for a while.
Because you're going to see that for a while. Those two really put their hands up and said, yeah, we're 9-10 for the next, decade?
Easily, yeah. I mean, Intimac's like 19.
Right. And
he could do this for 15 more years.
DuPont's, 22? So
yeah.
They're going to be around a while.
Yeah, and then, I mean, Saron, who was DuPont's backup, and this is not that old either, so plenty to go for France if they decide to finally get themselves together and actually show up for the World Cup. They could lean on the youth. It's not something they do, but it showed today it might be a good idea.
They have to, though. Their old guys suck.
Yeah, no, their older guys are just gone. They're beyond their years. It's not their fault, you know.
Well, I just mean their veteran leadership that's on the team outside of those two positions are just not doing their job. Like, I mean, we've talked about Bastereau enough.
Yep.
You know, UJ. No, they need to find a new win.
So many people hate UJ.
For good reason.
I mean, you look at him and you want to hate him.
You just And Ramos, I thought, took a step forward too.
Yes, yeah, I thought it was very good.
I thought, and maybe that's not so much him, but the fact that he had a good 9-10
in front
setting
of him.
A platform for him.
Yep.
Probably
he's
helps.
another playmaker out there. That always helps. Where you can put him, whether you do the England thing that you used to do with Ford and Farrell, whether you like Ford or not, whatever, that's different. That's besides the point. If you want two playmakers, that's one of the other options is to put your playmaker back at fullback. Not a new thing, but when you feel like you need a little more creativity in there, throw another playmaker back at fullback if you can.
And in this match, it worked, especially without Hogg back there. Now you're kind of you don't have to worry too much about Ramos being overmatched back there. So that was helpful, and it worked out for France. Good job.
Did very well. It was very apparent that Scotland were a little lost, and I've said it before, and I don't like repeating something like this because I'm sure he's a decent dude, but Greg Laidlaw just doesn't do it for me.
No,
Ali Price needs to start the next match. Whether I don't care what his leadership qualities, quote unquote, are. I don't think they're enough to mitigate what's going on.
And he was salty after the match again.
He's a very salty person.
Obviously, he's Scottish.
I believe.
He's going to be Scottish. He's going to be salty.
Yeah, he's Scottish.
But I learned very early on in my rugby career that Scottish don't react well to losses.
No.
And while I thought that he had a little bit of a right to be against Ireland, because they were done a little hard by the ref, this time it was just
I think France outdid him. France outdid him. Simple as that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go through our scores. Obviously, leading the way. Three names that we hit on already. Intimac with 39, Ramos with 39, Dupont with 38, and this is all for France, obviously. Gael Ficou goes back to the position that he's supposed to be playing, gets 33. Loré with 33, Aldrit with 31, Ituria with 27, Guirado with 24, Uge with 24, Scotter Triad helps. Bamba, our boy, with 22, Felix Lambie with 22, and Paul Willemse with 22 off the bench. Not too bad.
Nice to see Willemse back out there.
Yeah, I would keep him in the role of a bench player that can come on and finish. Yeah, because he's a unit. He really is.
Right.
But a giant man like that probably only needs about 25 minutes of game time and to make an impact, and that's good. That's a good bench spot. People often poo-poo on, oh, you're a bench player. He's a bench player because he's better off coming off the bench and very effective off the bench.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
It's not about playing. You don't start your best 15 all the time necessarily.
No. Sometimes
you say, oh, this guy, he's, sometimes maybe your best person at a position or player at a position is better, like, as you said, off the bench, like coming in the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes of the game and wreck and shop for that. It's like letting a dog off the chain because, you have to, it's not, at that point, it is a sprint. It's not a marathon. Just go, wreck, shop.
With the 20 or 25
tired.
minutes. Yeah, absolutely. Just shoot that bullet right there. Go for it, man. For the Scots, they did have some decent scores. Alan Dow with 31, Stuart McAnally with 31, Laidlaw did have 28, Peter Horn had 28, Grant Gilchrist continues to be a good performer in the second row, 27. Blair Kinghorn, 26, and Johnny Gray with 22. Johnny Gray still gets it done, even though they get a little hose. Not too bad. France 27, Scotland 10. It was not the Scots' best game. Again, they continue to be issues with Scots away from Murrayfield. Not too surprising to a lot of people. Ooh, what a firecracker this was. Wales and England. This was physical.
Yes.
This was so physical.
And emotional.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, you could see it in both sets of players, the fans. It was all around.
I thought the energy was great as far as you said, it was physical, and it wasn't physical. They weren't looking to beat the shit out of each other for the sake of beating the shit out of each other. They were being physical to win the match.
Yeah,
they wanted to win.
They were hammering the rucks. Their tackles were all, everybody was trying to make a plus tackle. It was pretty. That's one that the bath feels real good afterwards. Yeah. That's for sure.
Well, depending on which side you're on.
Still,
if you're on the wrong side of that, it's cold.
Yeah,
it's
probably a little extra cold. I thought much is being made about Owen Farrell's performance, and he made some mistakes. As no lie, listen, there are a lot of team players that are going to go into the Principality against Wales in that atmosphere, and you'll make some mistakes. And it's not something to say he's like all of a sudden you relegate him as a world-class fly half or anything like that. No.
See, I don't think my take on that's a little different. I don't think that they made too many mistakes or that he did anything too wrong. To me, he telegraphed everything.
Every time kicks were very telegraphed.
Right. His kicks were telegraphed. If he wasn't kicking, it was obvious. If he was kicking, it was obvious. So, and they kind of said, okay, we're gonna, maybe we'll attack the middle of the field with our forwards, and that was obvious. And then, we're gonna spin it out wide. That was like they weren't. It just seemed like they were saying, here's what we're going to do, stop us. And Wales said, okay. Okay. Like, what else are you going to do about that?
Right.
I'm not sure how much of that is on Farrell and how much of it is on Eddie Jones.
They didn't have a good plan B. They had a plan B. They didn't have a good one, that's for sure. Wales knew their plan A, and they looked to be ready for it. The one guy that needed to perform for Wales got man of the match, and that was Liam Williams. And he played a freaking love. I love this guy, I really do, and I'm so glad that the Saracens have him because that's definitely one of the best fullbacks in the world. If anybody questions that now, then you need to recheck this thing.
Of course, that Saracens connection does that hurt because he kind of I'm sure he knows Faz's.
He plays against him in training all the time,
right? So he knows what his tendencies are. He knows what he's seeing.
Farrell knows his though too.
True.
So it goes both ways,
right?
There's nothing to really read into that, in my opinion. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, you got to get him off the Saracens." No, that's a stupid thing to say. What's wrong with you?
I just figured that was again, not only like I said, Faz was kind of telegraphing what he was doing, which makes Sanjay's job that much easier.
Yeah, it is. It does. I thought Josh Adams obviously played a miraculous game. Obviously, came up with the winner or the clincher.
That was a hell of a play. Both of the tries at the end of the match.
Yeah.
Were just
good line by Hilda.
Gorgeous.
Cut in and plow over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, three England tacklers turned into none because they all basically bumped each other off.
Yeah. Well, he ran a great line.
Yeah, the outside
came from way outside and came in on that unders line. Really well done. Great timing on the pass, the run, and what are you going to do at that point? As a defender,
all you can do is, if you can help it.
All you can do is stand on the tracks and hope you can stop the train.
Yep.
And they couldn't.
Nope.
But that catch by
Adams.
How do you?
Good concentration, man.
Amazing.
Good concentration.
Could you imagine if that had happened in like an American sport? We would be seeing that everywhere.
Be on the highlight reel forever.
So
forever and ever.
Yeah, and I'm sure it will be for Wales. So
I'm sure it's on Wales' permanent highlight reel now.
Yeah, just a gorgeous play to close out a great game.
Yeah, I thought Gareth Davies unfortunately struggled a little bit. The Welsh scrum half. Not his best game. Back row for Wales definitely played a very immense game. Obviously, Alan Wynne was a big part of the game too, because as he always is. I thought for England, Tom Curry is 20 years old. Everybody in the world needs to be terrified of that, because this dude was everywhere. I looked up, and every second I looked up that somebody was getting tackled on Wales, it was Curry that was in it. Right. Either he was in there trying to win the ball, or he made the tackle.
Right. And earning penalties.
Yeah, the kid was amazing. Obviously, he got over the line on top of it. His dude was, that was long.
I mean, he was man of the match if England won.
Yes.
So.
Oh yeah.
That was a fantastic performance by Curry. Really, again, standing up and saying, "This is my jersey. I want it." And now all he has to do is
prying
just
it off his back.
Right. Now he's got him.
It's glued on there for now.
Now he's got it. Yeah. It's yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's there for him. He just has to maintain this level of play.
Yeah, as long as he's healthy, I don't see why they do anything else. Anti-man of the match, number 3 for England, Kyle Sinclair. Lots of dumb things. Not good. He's not a good scrummager. We already know this. Right. This is not news. I'm not going to harp on that. Gives away a really cheap and probably not the smartest penalty he could have given away right in front of the sticks that gives them 3. And honestly, if he doesn't give away that 3, the Corey Hill try doesn't do a thing. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's all his fault.
No.
Good Lord. Let's not read that into it. But it was just a dumb penalty that eventually eventually Wales got the lead out of it. But
I will say this. We knew going in that Wales were going to try to get under his skin.
They knew exactly what to do.
Because he's, and I'll give him the credit for not being too much of an asshole after the whistle.
With scrappy dappy do that was going on there, yeah.
I mean, none of that clubbing that he did the other week.
No, he knew. He and the whole Alan Wynne photo. But there was another respectful one afterward, the two of them shaking hands, hugging it out, and being rugby players. Right. Because they also went on the Lions tour together.
Yeah. I mean, they're all these guys.
A lot of these guys play either together with that, or they play together. Adams is on Worcester. William Williams is on Saracens. Mm-hmm. There's more in there. I know there is. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Dan Bigger plays for Northampton. Oh, speaking of which, England and their fans, Englishmen are going to see Dan Bigger in their sleep.
Yeah.
Because after the 15 World Cup and the performance he put in against them in the pool stage to knock them out more or less, and then obviously the cross kick to nothing at Adams Field, they're going to see him in their sleep for sure.
And yeah, that was that was I think when we talked last week, I had mentioned that I would put Bigger in. Oh no, I think for this match, I think I don't remember which one I said. But, but I ultimately, whatever I said last week, what Wales did was right.
Well, they pulled the trigger at the right time on Bigger. So
and that kick was perfectly weighted. Everything was just gorgeous about that.
Very good. I thought Tuolangi had his little break. He made one critical error. He was carrying the ball in one hand.
Yeah.
If he had carried the ball in 2 hands, he's a threat, and he can pass. Most people know Tuolangi, he's not passing. But, carry the ball in 2 hands now and again, big guy, and people are going to maybe give you at least that half a shoulder to run through.
But that's the other thing about him is we definitely talked about the past couple of weeks is Tuolangi just being a hammer and a battering ram. And now he finally gets into space, finally does something good with it as far as running with it. And he had players, he had options, and he just didn't use them. And it's like, okay, well, that means that all he's good for is a battering ram, which is
good and bad.
It's good and bad, and he's not even a great battering ram. He's a good battering ram. Don't get me wrong.
Battering ram that's about to make a boatload of money in France next year.
Good for him, but I'd like to see a little bit more versatility out of a player like that, just because it puts that much more of a fear in the defense.
Right. Yep. So Wales 21, England 13. This whole championship's not over. Jesus. Now we're down to
not even a little.
Wales have to beat Ireland. I think they have them at home, so that's the good news for Wales. Bonus points are all involved still as well, so don't forget that. England could have done with a bonus point here to maybe keep it with it a little bit more of a shout. Go through the stores. For Wales, I said he had a bad game, but not fantasy-wise. Gareth Davies with 35. Ken Owens, another guy we talked about running your face through a wall for, 30. Anscombe with 28. Almond Jones with 26. Josh Navidi, I really like Josh Navidi.
Yeah.
26. Corey Hill with 25, the more or less hero. George North with 24. Rob Evans with 24. Tom Francis with 23. And Josh Adams, probably the hero, with 22. Scored the clincher. It'll be the one that everybody remembers at very least. England, Tom Curry. Surprise, surprise, top of the list. 44. Big day for the big boy. Jamie George with 40. Courtney Laws with 30. Courtney Laws.
That's
lost for the remainder. We'll talk about possible replacements for him, both in England and in your team. Mark Wilson with 30 as well. Jack Noel with 27. George Cruz with 26. Ben Youngs with 23. Am I reading that? Yeah. Can't read my shit. Johnny May with 23. Harry Williams with 21. Not bad off the bench for Harry Williams. And Owen Farrell with 21. Just the whole, don't. England aren't chokers. Don't. The whole line from Warren Gatlin, he needs to check himself, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to rewind to 2011 when his team had a good chance at getting into a semifinal again in the World Cup down in New Zealand, and his captain friggin' did a tip tackle, and that pretty much cost him the game against France. France ended up getting into the semifinal, then the final.
I think he's just
keep your.
I think he's just putting his thumb in Eddie Jones's eye.
Yeah,
that's all. That's
keep
all
yourself
he's doing.
Keep yourself in check, Warren. The the final act of the weekend for Six Nations actually was not a bad one.
It was a great game.
It was a lot better of a game than some people probably anticipated, especially with the strong team. Yeah, same. I totally thought Ireland was going to hose these guys, and the scoreline probably flatters them a little bit too. Ireland 26, Italy 16. Italy was in this game right up until the last 20 minutes or so, even. Probably even later than that, if I'm remembering wrong. But yeah, I was impressed with Italy's grit. It's not a term that you necessarily define with the Azzurri.
No.
But man, they just showed a little bit of toughness, a little bit of bite. They were like, this is not going to be one of those games where you bend us over. You are going to have to earn every inch. Yeah. And they did.
They did.
And that was Conor O'Shea can definitely. It sucks to take a moral victory away from a game that they probably could have won. But again, if you're Italy, you have to just take those small victories when you can. This is the type of stuff that should tell the world they don't belong relegated from this thing. No, keep them in. I'm sorry, Georgia. I'm sorry, any other club that thinks that any other country that thinks they're going to get into this competition because of Italy. No. Forget it. You just lost your opportunity. Italy just showed no way.
No, I was just very impressed with the way they played all together, and you could tell in the crowd was amazing.
They were in it. I was happy. I was like, all right, that was Italian crowd that's in it. Let's go. And
Italy had so many. They had so many opportunities. To me that was the theme of the weekend, and we're even going down into the Premiership too. Was Absolutely. A lot of missed opportunities and a lot of line breaks that just didn't quite finish with tries, and they should have, because either the support wasn't there or the support wasn't used right, what have you. Italy could have put up quite a bit of points. Once again, they found gaps in that 12-13 wing channel that they kept attacking.
Yep.
And which was shocking to me. Because Ireland, the one thing that we've talked about for forever, and everybody talks about, is their defense and that wall, that green wall that just lines up in front of you, and good luck beating that by running through it.
Right.
And they ran through it. Mm-hmm. They found gaps. Well. And this wasn't exactly the scrubs for Ireland in their back line.
Oh no.
They were running through their starters.
No. There was some good stuff back there for them. I was very shocked at Italy being able to do what they did, but I was also very impressed by Italy being able to do what they did.
Yeah.
Tells me that they are definitely not going to be taking this thing lying down by any means whatsoever.
No.
Very, very happy for the Azzurri to see them play just another level up, which we've been waiting for.
And if Tommaso Allen could make a kick every so often,
that's
a very
that'd be
game.
Very helpful. I thought you were going to call him something else.
I am. So my new nickname for him is Tomato, He's a tomato Tommaso.
He's a tomato. He's tomato Allen. Very good stuff from Italy. I was very impressed. Abraham Stain, very good. Jaden Hayward, very good. Padovani, Geraldini was leading the troops, and no Parise in this squad either. Think of what they might have done if Sergio Parise was healthy.
I know that was a rough one to take.
Yep, and I would have felt so bad for all the losses that Parise's taken while he's wearing the blue shirt if they had won.
Right,
I would have felt so bad for him, but he would have been ecstatic. He would not have given a rat's ass. He would not have cared. He would have been like, I don't care. We need to win. So I'm glad the Missouri were able to show that they are definitely all belong in this class.
Right, and big ups to the Italian front row. Yeah. Starters and reserves for nutting up against a
tough group. A very tough group as always. Irish front rows are usually no slouch.
No.
Okay, let's go through the scores here real quick. For the host, Tibaldi comes back and gets 41. Ruza with 39. Jaden Hayward with 33. Abraham Stain with 29. Morrissey with 25. Dean Bubb with 24. Padovani with 24. Leonardo Geraldini with 24. And Tommaso Allen with 22. Remember, any 10s that we name include their kicking points. So in order to get all the points, you need to name your kicker. Ireland, more scores than Italy, obviously, but happens when you win the game. Kilcoyne with 52, Connor Murray with 44, Jacob Stockdale with 36. Got a few bonus ones after that intercept and run.
Thank you. I needed that.
Yeah. Keith Earls with 32, Jordy Murphy with 29. Delane with 28, Furlong with 27. Finally, Ty Furlong. Where you been all my life?
Yes, thank you.
Peter Omani with 23, Sean Cronin with 23, replacing Best for this game. Chris Farrell with 22, and Johnny Sexton with 21. Good to see Johnny Sexton back in there, not up on the shelf with an injury or anything like that.
Although he was a little salty coming out of the match too. He was a little miffed.
They whacked him a lot.
Right, but he was miffed at. He was frustrated all day, but he was a little mad at Stockdale for dropping a pass.
Yeah.
On Sexton's last go in the match.
Well, womp. Shit happens, man. All right, so let's go through the dream team for the Rugby Mag.
Pretty significant amount, so I was pretty happy with that.
What's that?
Oh, I had a good amount of of the dream teamers.
I'm looking at my
I
list.
did come in 20th in the world.
Yeah, there you go. Another good week for you on that one. So Rugby Mag dream team for Six Nations Fantasy. Dave Kilcoyne from Ireland with 52. Jamie George from England with 40. Ty Furlong from Ireland with 27. Federico Ruzza from Italy with 39. Good to see some Italians starting to get mixed in there a little more. Courtney Laws, the injured Courtney Laws with 30. With 30 from England. Lore from France. I'm not going to disservice him by trying to pronounce his first name. Lore from France with 33. Tom Curry with 44. Abraham Stain from Italy with 29. Connor Murray with 44. Roman Intimac with 39 from France in the 10 shirt. Jacob Stockdale on the wing with 36. Gail Ficou from France with 33. Luca Morrissey from Italy with 25. Keith Earls with 32. And Thomas Ramos from France with 39 in the fullback jersey. So good stuff all around. You took the lead in our little league, you little bastard.
Yeah, and I got some separation this week.
Yeah, dirty little. So, obviously, a lot of you are going to be in crisis mode, like me, with some of the injuries. Big one, obviously, for the weekend for me was obviously Courtney Laws going down. Second rows, there's still some good ones out there. So let's just talk about what England do with him first. There's talk of bringing in. There's one talk of rushing back Maro Itoje, which I think is stupid for the Italy game. Don't do that.
Yeah, I would.
Two, there's talk of bringing in Joel Kapoku from Saracens, which I'm not necessarily. Yeah, I'm lukewarm on at best.
I am against it.
Okay, there you go.
I think, he's not even playing. I realize he's playing for the U20s.
U20s,
and he's doing a lot of good work there. He's not even playing for Saracens regularly.
No,
I don't think he's ready for that step up yet. And frankly, there's a lot of other locks in England that have earned it. And maybe not maybe, probably in 5 years it's going to be Itoje and Kapoku as your starters.
Yeah, so I saw somebody put out like the England potential World Cup squad for France in 4 years.
Right.
And he was on it, and I thought that was pretty. I was like, yeah, probably
That's
accurate.
But for now,
No.
you could walk into pretty much any of the Premiership teams and be like,
find a lock.
Give me your best lock.
Yeah.
We're going. And he would deserve it and probably fare better than Kapoku would.
Right. I mean, off the top of my head, our boy Asikwe could be one. Elliot Stuke is another one that jumps up to me. Trying to go around the league in my head here. There's got to be another one in there that I'm probably missing. But yeah, there's at least 3 or 4 that they could throw in there for now and not rush back.
Right.
Maro Itoje. That would be a terrible among terrible ideas.
There's no need for that. Right now.
There's got to be one of the Gloucester second rows has to be eligible.
Hell, what about putting Hughes at second row?
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't even on the bench for this one.
Right.
So there you go.
I mean, yeah.
Slater's English, isn't he? Ed Slater.
No, I'm not sure.
I think he is. So throw his name in that hat because he's
English.
So he's a damn good second row. Last I checked. So
yep.
maybe pick up the phone and call him.
Right. Is Launchbury hurt?
Huh? No, I mean he'll be the start. It's probably going to be Launchbury and Cruz to start, but you got to figure out who you pull. Maybe you do leave Hughes bring Hughes into the team and leave him as your quote unquote second row replacement and hope you don't need him.
Right.
Wilson could slot in if he had to. I think he did. I don't know if him or Shields had to, and Laws came off.
That was Hughes did at one point.
That was 2 weeks ago when Morrow came off, or 3 weeks, whatever it was. First game when Morrow came off, Hughes did, but I'm trying to think of who slotted in at scrum time for Laws. I don't know if it was Wilson bumped over or if Shields went in there, but
I didn't notice.
Yeah, so whichever one of those two you could use him and bring Hughes onto the bench. So there's way better ideas for England than that. But for your fantasy team ideas, James Ryan would be a good replacement to throw in there. If you don't have Alan Wynne-Jones, what's wrong with you? George Cruz actually isn't bad. Outside of the Ireland game, he's gotten 20 plus every week so far.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Gray, well, now that he's back,
Gray's got to be in there. He's averaging a boatload of points at this point.
Right.
So
he's played 2 matches and has 53 points. So.
Yeah, so I would consider that as much. Six Nations Dream Team through week 3 of round 3 of the Six Nations. So this was a fun little thing I did. Any guesses as to who's the leading scorer in Six Nations fantasy this year?
I have no idea.
Connor Murray.
I wasn't there. Oh yeah,
125.
Stockdale would be up there, I'm sure too.
Yep, but not as high as you think. Next on the list is a Scot. Who do you think it is?
That wouldn't be Hoggy. No, it would be the wing, Kinghorn.
Yes. Yeah. So I went through it and put 15 guys in a lineup.
All right, who do you got?
Mako.
Oh.
Despite missing a week, it's a bet. It's not a good day. It's not a good competition for props. Hit big points, but only once, and then they go. Right. So Mako was doing it consistently, so that's why he's still on the list. Mako with 8 at Loosehead. Jamie George, Hooker, Kilcoyne, at the other prop, Gilchrist from Scotland, Itoria from France. He's actually a flanker. He plays flanker, but he's second row eligible, so I slotted him in there. Another guy that's flanker eligible, McNally.
Yeah,
plays hooker obviously for Scotland, but been rolling him out there.
He's been my flanker.
Yeah, he hasn't left my lineup yet.
No.
Abraham Stain from Italy. Plays flanker mostly, obviously, when Parise's healthy. Picamol from France at the 8. Murray at the 9. Laidlaw, since he's eligible at 10, we slot him back there. Kinghorn at wing. Farrell at 12. Okay. I marked him as kicker, and I marked Murray as captain. Obviously, Murray's got the most points. That's the one you got to roll with.
Yeah.
David Stockdale in at center because he's center eligible.
Oh.
Johnny May, 110 so far.
Okay.
At
Wing.
Well,
he's done all right for himself.
At wing, and then
game,
since Slade's eligible at fullback, you slide Slade back there.
Roger.
It's funny that the leaders of Six Nations in real life don't have a single guy on the fantasy list here that I just listed, but it is what it is. It's the reason that fantasy doesn't always match reality. It's a fantasy.
Exactly. Things don't translate always.
No, definitely.
And plus, they just play such good. They're so spread out as far as who's.
They have a lot of talent. They went through a lot of bodies in the last 3 weeks. Wales did so.
Well, I mean, you look at Ireland.
It's almost the same bodies.
Right. Murray's going to put up points. Stockdale's going to put up points. O'Mahony's going to get a shitload of tackles, so he's probably going to get some points.
Yeah, this is his best week so far, 23.
And you're not going to see a lot of, you see. So you look at their points. They have a lot of guys up high, and then it kind of changes as to who's in the mid 20s.
Right.
But it's really the same guys who are towards the top.
Yeah, and it's just a little more predictable with teams like Ireland, England, because they almost are very consistent with their selection. Obviously, France has been very. Your guess is as good as mine. So there is that. Italy again, same thing. You got to find the diamond in the rough with them. There's obviously a few that have done well, but still, you got to find the right ones. All right. Let's breeze through the other two competitions here. Let's talk about our boys first and get that out of the way, and then we can kind of touch on the other ones. I mean, we called it.
Yeah, we did.
We called it.
It was not unexpected.
No, and it wasn't their best performance, and they still got a bonus point out of the damn thing. That's the best part. I mean, that's a silver lining and a half right there. It
was a good way to end the match. To fight their way back,
Willie
into
to
it.
Jax,
yeah,
very good. I mean, Ben Morgan, what a freaking house he is.
Yeah,
there's somebody that England need to keep on their short list at least. Of
they do
names to call when needed because he is so damn good. He
might be someone they could slot into second round.
He's got the freaking size.
Huge.
I mean, it doesn't have to be your jumper, but
right,
man, he is
still
gigantic.
Move.
He'll make that weight. He'll make that scrum very immovable.
Yes, he will. He's just a massive unit who's strong as an ox.
Yeah, he is.
There's certain guys who, they're not you can tell they're big and strong, but it's not quite functional. For him, he can if you need him to move someone off that ball, he will do it. If you need him to carry that ball and move some defenders back, he'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get him in space, and I don't want.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting in his way. No, thank you.
But that, and you look at that now. I think was this. This is the first time that I've seen, and it's really registered on me this season. So I'm not sure if it's accurate or not. But to me, having Slater, Mostert, and Morgan all on the field together for Gloucester.
Yeah, that's a lot of beef.
I'm not sure if that was the first time this season. Because I know they've had
one of two, maybe.
Yeah, they've all been banged up.
They've all been here and rotated in and out. It's usually Well, Mostert didn't start till late because of the tours, and then Slater gets rotated in and out because gotta keep the legs fresh. Yeah. Keep those legs fresh, baby.
So all three of them combined, if it seemed like when Gloucester was giving it to the forwards, they were giving it to one of them. And,
yeah, understatement of the day.
And on the other side for the forwards, for the Saracens, can we talk about how awesome Talafua is?
God, I don't know how they were able to stomach him for 40 minutes.
I don't know what he played. He came out.
You started the second half too. That was the scary part. I was like, no, get him out of there now.
Right. It was like you always have a match every so often where you point at one player and you're like, get him off the field now.
Yeah, and he was
it starts 10, 15 minutes in. It starts with one mistake. And then all of a sudden there's another mistake. And you're like, why is he still in? And then another mistake. Why is he still in? And he kept doing stupid shit. He couldn't throw a ball straight in the lineout.
Understatement of the day.
He couldn't throw a pass in the loose. He couldn't make a tackle. What the fuck was he doing?
He was very bad. He was very, very bad. He's
and you have a perfectly capable backup who's shown himself to be pretty damn good in Woolley.
Very good.
So
he's very good.
Is it a fitness? I have no idea why.
He's definitely started a couple of matches.
Right.
So if it's a fitness thing, then just pull Talafua at half, please.
Yeah.
End the pain. If we're gonna lose this game, please don't make me watch that freaking guy play.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, at what point does putting your backup in, who you know is capable, and for some reason McCall likes Talafua for reasons that
I
are
have no
beyond
idea
me.
what reason he sees.
At some point, you got to say, you know what, I'm not gonna let you ruin my game.
Yeah,
I'll let
please.
Because what happens? You bring on Wollstonecroft. And what he
does worse because there's no way you could have got a lot worse.
Right.
Shoot.
Like, the only way to go is up.
Yeah.
And if he sucks too, then you're like, all right, it's just not our day at hook.
Nah.
And you move on.
Fair enough.
But you got him sitting there.
Yeah, you might as well just try it.
And especially because Tolofua had a shit week last week too.
Yeah.
So it's not as though this is a new thing for him.
I did, and they said it on the broadcast too. I did find it amusing that Gloucester fans are like, "Can we play you every week?" I'm like, you might want to be careful, and we'll go through who did not play.
Right.
You might want to be careful with what you wish for, because I'm pretty sure we did this once already this year when everybody was available and we hosed you. Right. So just rethink what you're saying, okay? Yeah. Just I love the ambition, and it's probably the beer talking. Honestly, let's be real about this. It's probably they're probably all on the smash, so be it. But as we
everybody
drink,
gets everybody gets beer muscles when you're taking out the champs. You know?
I know it. Tell me about it. So Saracens lose, but not without a bonus point. 24 to 30. It was a gutty performance by the Saracens, but man, was it a very good performance by Gloucester. These guys look like they're on fire. They really do.
And that to me was the theme actually throughout the a lot of the Premiership games that I saw was it's getting better. So like a lot of the little things
getting things figured out.
You're in mid-season now. You're getting a little bit of the lather in you, and you're starting to figure out what you got, and now you can start to not just do the basics, but really open up the attack,
right?
And to show more creativity,
right? We won't jump through everything, but Morgan with 55 and Cipriani with 17. Those are the two pole runs for Gloucester. Cipriani hasn't been amazing on the score sheet here, but he's gotten it done.
He did a hell of a job.
And it's clear that the Gloucester red and white machine does not fire as well when he's not at the helm.
Right.
I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Even if he's not doing anything spectacular, he clearly knows what the hell's going on and knows how to order.
I thought he didn't. No, he didn't do anything that was like, oh wow, like he didn't.
No, there was no wow factor, but that's okay.
He was consistent.
Consistency is fine.
This was perfectly fine sips.
Yep. For Saracens, the top scorer, Big Willie, off the bench after that run and offload right near the end there. He had a couple of good barging runs from the big old giraffe.
He's a unit too.
Yeah, just a bit. I mean, the whole Six Nations contingent didn't play for Saracens. Farrell, Atoje, both Vinipolas, Jamie George, Liam Williams, obviously also not playing for away with Wales. George Cruz, like, listen, chill out. Let's see what happens when the springtime comes and we have more guys.
That's half the team. It's 7 players. that are.
And then there's still a handful that are probably recovering from either injury or just needing rest.
Exactly. So let's and we know that Gloucester, my side piece.
Yep.
But I'm certainly pumping the brakes on being too excited about this.
Yeah, don't get too excited about it. Lost Sale, what stood out for you?
That I saw the first half. Not much stood out for me. Again, Wasps are showing a little bit more life and creativity.
Yes,
I thought the Sopawaga was really starting to make that 10 position his own, which is good because now they don't have Searle for a while.
No,
so
they don't.
So it's like you got nobody else really.
Might as well just lean on it.
So lean on it, and maybe that helps a little bit. But
I think he had to take a pine. After near the end, I thought Nizam Carr got done pretty harshly by the ref. Made a tackle on, I think it was Solomona going down. Had to put all effort in to try and chase down Solomona. Hit him with his arm about shoulder level, and then obviously Solomona's trying to go down, and ended up to get the try, obviously, and ended up sliding up high a little bit. So referee not only called it a penalty try, gave him a yellow card. In my opinion, really harsh on Nizam Carr. I thought that was unfortunate. Pretty much the reason that Sale won the game was that right there.
Yeah.
Not to say that was the only thing, but it is what it is.
Yep.
Just looking at the scores here, Carr did do well on the scoreboard, 32. Buff de Klerk's a pain in the ass, but he does really well.
Yes. And
there's not just one Curry in England too. He almost looks as good as his brother, so be careful, everybody. Very good. Sale win 24-18 over Was. Quinn's Bristol. Watch any of it?
No, this one I couldn't get around to.
I mean, Bristol's entertaining as hell. We talk about two guys that are very young for France that everybody needs to watch in combo. get used to watching Harry Randall and Callum Sheedy for Bristol for a long time. These guys look these kids look really good. I really like the way they look. I don't know if you saw the Pietau try where he he buried Mike Brown. Rest in peace, Mike Brown. There was nothing Mike Brown was going to be able to do about it. It's like, yep, you're done. On your bum. Very good stuff from Bristol. But Quins were the classier bunch, and they showed it. Obviously, Ben Glenn basically almost does what Will Rowlands did the other week: find a loose ball and run with it. So that's why his score gets pumped up a little bit, 55. Marcus Smith, good day. The Dominator was back with 31.
Yeah, I like seeing him.
Chris Vui, what the hell's gotten into him? 35.
He's been eating his Wheaties. Yeah.
El Patalillo, we got 42, but he's also potentially injured and also potentially banned, apparently. Ooh. Didn't see what the incident was, but saw that he's getting cited, so I was like, oopsie. So yeah, Bristol lose 26-36, but put in a damn good show.
Yeah.
We talked about everything getting better except for one team, Newcastle. Poof.
That's not going to change anytime
soon. And they showed a bit of heart,
right?
But just didn't have it.
You're walking into a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're away. You're at a team that now again
on top again. Yep.
Right. And the Saracens had opened the door for Exeter.
Yeah, and they were ready to take it. They were like,
right.
"This is
they're
ours."
going to be motivated. They're they're going to want to win more. Even more than normal because this is where they could not only take the lead but maybe even separate a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the guys that needed to step up for Exeter stepped up. Cordero, White, Cuthbert, Ollie Woodburn returns in his first match since the beginning of the year with gets himself over. Alec Hepburn played very well for. Damn it, I wish I'd started him. That whole thing. Lago Mulapula gets 41. Just, random stuff like that. Kibarigi actually looked really good. He scored 2 tries. They said Kibarigi and then they said Kibridge. I don't know which one it is. So this guy needs to get on the phone with somebody and tell us how the frig to pronounce the name. Let's go. So Exeter 35, Newcastle 17. Northampton Bath. Did you watch this game at all? Best game of the weekend, hands down.
I started this and couldn't get through it because of timing.
Man, hands down, best match.
Yeah, I wanted to see it because I know
Northampton finished with a flurry, and Dave Ribbons goes quick tap and gets Dave Ribbons is gigantic, so he just basically falls from the 5-meter line over the try line. I love the big fella. I think he's a great player for them. I think he's a good stand-in while Courtney Laws is away and obviously now out. Something about Northampton scrum halves. Alex Mitchell gets 52 this weekend. Man, and he was a nuisance. He really was. And it's too bad because Bath actually played very well. They played well until the last 5 minutes where they blew it, basically.
Which seems to be a little bit their style.
Yeah, a little bit, unfortunately.
Where they kind of fade late.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, makes sense. They are, some of their better players are a little long in the tooth. So
yeah, and a couple of them are gone too now as well. So. Rory Hutchinson for the center for them. A couple of good weeks in a row stacked up right here. So look out for this kid. They have a lot of youth. We talked about it last week. They have a lot of youth between the guys like this, Slateholm, Grayson, Furbank. Just a lot of young guys that just give him energy. So this will be interesting to see how this team goes on. They get to walk into Allianz Park next week.
That's okay.
Rory McConaughey. My call on him was very good. Aussie Twell didn't do a damn thing. Rory McConaughey gets over the line, so I'll take it. I'll call it a win. So Northampton 27, Bath 26. They got one right in front, right at the end. So good for them. And then, so before we get into the Leicester match and breeze through it real quick,
want to get to it.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out and a tip of the cap. Matthew Tate, longtime Leicesterman, has called a 15-year career time. Been beat up, been battered. Guy was very good with his feet, and a guy that also didn't miss his tackles. Very rare to see the combination of that, and obviously won a lot of titles and a lot of trophies with Leicester in their glory days. So, tip of the cap to Matthew Tate. Happy retirement. You'll do well in whatever you do, big guy. I'm sure.
Sure.
All right, this was. You and I both watched this match. This was not pretty.
No, and this again. So Worcester. To me, it didn't look it because of the score line, but on the field, the actual play, Worcester controlled the play throughout the match.
Yes.
And again, had those same things we talked about with the line breaks that they couldn't finish.
Yeah. Well, nobody could do a damn thing. Right. Anytime anybody got anything going in this match, nobody finished it.
Right.
It was just ridiculous.
And until the end. Until the last,
right, the end. Well done. The best part of the play was the last minute or two.
Right.
Was that Howe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one for him. Good for him. So he seems to be on fire a little bit. Jack Singleton's definitely somebody that if something goes awry, well, you know what? They have Italy coming up. Maybe they pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Jack, come on in. We're gonna rest Jamie this week. We'll start Luke Cowan-Dickey, and we're gonna bring you off the bench." I think that would be a good call for England.
That might be a good call
to get him going. Cowan-Dickey's more than serviceable.
Sure.
They're playing at Twickenham. They're not playing in Rome, so should be fine. Jonah Holmes probably wishes he was playing in Cardiff, but played pretty well. But he was the best part of the Leicester team for sure.
Yeah, although that's not saying too much.
No, probably not.
And not again. My feelings on Leicester are well documented.
Right.
But this was not me shitting on them. They know it's not that anybody. I'm not picking anybody out saying anybody played poorly. Nobody really stood up and said, "I'm going to control this match and I'm going to really take wrestle it by the balls to the ground."
Right. No, neither team really did, honestly.
No. But that's so that's why I thought Worcester controlled the play, but they didn't control the game.
No,
so they had a lot of possession, they had a lot of the territory, a lot of running meters. I'm sure I haven't seen those stats, but I thought a lot of times you looked up and some Worcester player was breaking the line.
Yes, it certainly felt that way. Bryce Heem leaving Worcester for going to France. Where his fellow countrymen are apparently not very welcome.
Right.
But yeah. So good luck to him. Good luck with that monster. James hit around the head last week. Monster. So I want to do a couple quick fantasy segments for this.
Sure.
So I want to do the All Ironman team part 2. Hopefully we don't put the kibosh on somebody like we did last time. I think it was Flood that we did. He just ended up missing the match. I don't think it was. I think he had a bug or something.
Yeah, nothing.
So top 10 point scorers that have played all 14 match: Rollins from Wasps, Ben Morgan, Callum Green from Newcastle, John O'Ross from Sale, Good. Our buddy Alex Good. Sure. He should have missed a match at this point. Let's be real, but That's a different story for a different day. Joe Marchand. I love Joe Marchand. I really do. He's so underrated. For center for the Quins, Josh Beaumont from Sale, Nathan Earl Z. Miss you, buddy. From Quins, Rob Weber, hooker from Sale, and Sione Kalamafoni, the 8-man for Leicester. So if you're looking for a little consistency, maybe look at some of those guys. Some of those guys aren't that expensive.
No, they're really not.
Actually, speaking of not that expensive, I have a list of 15 under 250 pounds. So these guys are all under 250 pounds, and they form a 15. And I've actually got an honorable mention in here as well. I'll tell you why. Henry Thomas from Bath is 246, the prop. George McGuigan from Newcastle is 180.
He's been a stalwart
from Newcastle. Yep, very good. Wilgriff John is 160 from Sale.
Yep.
Rollins is 198.
Yes.
Ed Slater's only 238. Harry Thacker, his price adjusted just this week, so we could get into this. So he's actually, so I put him on the flank because he's eligible there, obviously. Sure. 250. Sam Lewis from Worcester is 212. John Ross is 220. 3 guesses as to who the scrum half is.
Yeah.
Kobus Reinach.
Oh, Reinach, yes.
From Northampton.
Okay. I was thinking Randall.
No, he's the top point scorer in the league, I believe. I'm pretty sure at this point in terms of fantasy. Callum Sheedy from Bristol at 10. Bryce Heem from Worcester. Ryan Mills and Francois Venter from Worcester as well. Charlie Sharples from Gloucester. And Jonah Holmes. So they're all in there. Heem is 243. Mills is 206. Venter 202. Sharples is 239. And Jonah Holmes is 226. I had an honorable mention in here because Nick Tompkins is eligible. Would fit into this team because Mills can slide in at 10, but I had to put Sheedy in here because there's no kicker.
Okay.
Otherwise,
and I would one suggestion I would make too, in on all that, because he hasn't played the whole season. That's where it kind of gets screwed up here. But Ollie Thorley,
absolutely,
at 122, he's got to be on your team.
He's got to be in there.
He must be on your team.
His 3PG is super low. It's not that's a metric that I made up, but it's not as like huge and telling as I'd hoped it would be. But the good ones, it's really low. So, and his is low. His is really, really effing low. just be aware of that.
So he's somebody you need to be looking into.
Right. So we're gonna do something new, and we're gonna do a more or less a green light and a stop sign for the week for your Premiership teams. Obviously, this is all based on, can you afford them? Can you sneak them into your team somehow? And are they starting?
Right.
So my big green light this week goes to Bryce Heem, who is playing a team that is giving up a ton of points fantasy-wise, period. End of story. They give up a lot of points to backs as well. And Bryce Heem is tearing up trees right now. So, and he's just cutting up a rug. So he needs to, and he's scoring points left and right. Bryce Heem
on my squad.
should be in your team this week, as long as he's somebody you can get and he's starting.
Yeah. So
just that little caveat right there.
Right. And there's issues with all of this because you can only have 5 players per team.
Right.
So, I really wanted Slater on my team, but I can't.
Right. We talked about that the other week. Yeah.
Gloucester players at I'm stocked up.
Yep.
And my green light of the week is somebody you've mentioned actually recently a couple times, but he kind of gets overlooked. And the thing is, it's been rare that he's really had a standout week, but for the cost, he's somebody that you really need to be considering on a week to week basis. Just you plug him in, you get 20 points, and again, he's not that expensive. But John O'Ross.
Oh yes, very good call.
A flanker at number 8, eligible. South African, so you don't have to worry about the internet.
Is he second row eligible too?
Not second row.
Okay,
eligible.
so he's 8. So he's 8 eligible.
Just flanker and 8. So that's kind of what makes it tough to squeeze him in. But I've been rarely disappointed in. I think there's been a week or two where I've left him off my squad and have been worse off for it. So to me, he's 220K.
Good shout. For sure.
And he gets return.
Yep. Oh yeah, no doubt. So my stop sign this week. Any Harlequins hooker. Bath are very good against the line out. Very good against hookers, especially. They give up the second fewest points, and they give up this both overall and to hookers. So they usually give up a few to forwards, but that's because they get torn up by back row. But don't start hookers against. So Crumpton and Elia and Dave Ward, forget about them. Throw them away. Put them on the bench. Put them in your stands. Put them somewhere else where they're not going to get affected, because I don't think they're going to have a good week. So find another option. Yeah. If you need a better option, I have ideas, but I'm just saying, don't go with that one. Actually, I do have a couple of ideas up my sleeve here. Tommy Taylor and Tom Cruise from Wasps would be a good idea. On the other side of this matchup we just talked about, Dunn and Batty could be in there, and then Jack Singleton, assuming that he doesn't get called into England camp.
Yeah. I'm fairly fortunate in my hooker position, seeing as I have Tom Cruise, Jordan McGuigan, and Harry Thacker, all 3 available.
Not terrible.
So I kind of fell into some of them, and it worked out pretty well for me.
Yeah, seems to have.
On the other end, we talk a lot about that's bait. Players who are a little bit more expensive than they should be. You think, oh yeah, okay, that means he must be pretty good.
Yeah.
And he just there's been this one who's just given me jack and shit all year long, and he's too expensive, and I'm cutting him this week. And the reason I picked him up is he's a Kiwi. So I picked him up for this specific stretch. This
segment right here, yeah.
Thinking, okay, well, he's somebody who'll be available, and he should be getting some playing time. He's not really getting much playing time, and when he does get playing time, he's really not producing, and that's Ben Franks from the Saints.
Northampton props score like middle of the road, so
but he's not even.
And he doesn't start a lot. Yeah, no. So they're getting his brother next year. That's the Franks you probably want next year.
So I picked the wrong one. I'll have to sort out where I'm going to go next.
Right.
But I'll definitely be dropping him this week.
Mm-hmm. All right, easy stuff. Let's go through. We'll talk about your team and my team in Super Rugby, and then we'll breeze through the matches, and we can touch on a few fantasy points. Then we'll go to pick them.
Sure.
So obviously some good stuff. My team looked like absolute poo.
Yeah, join the club.
Yeah, yours looked worse by far. Everybody, I'd say the hex is on for Ben's team.
I am the mush.
You are a bad juju.
Sorry, long-running Chiefs fans. I have fucked you.
Oh man. I mean, I was looking for guys to put on the list for the Chiefs scores, and I was like, you know what? I got to put names on here that didn't do well because there was not enough names that did well. Moyakiola did well. And that's it. Well, I mean, Leonard Brown's on my team, and he did shit. Ritalik's on your team. He didn't do a thing. Saturo, who lit the world on fire last week, didn't do anything. And McKenzie, 8.5 out of him. You know, not good.
Well, they didn't have the ball. I mean, we'll get to it. But...
No, they definitely didn't have the ball. And then on the other side, obviously, there were a lot of good scores for the Brumbies. You know, Lele Afano is actually probably the highest scoring player in the game right now. You know, and I mean, feel good story for him. He's he's been through a lot, so good for him. But you know, Brumbies don't look terrible. It has to be, and without David Pocock, even that's the scary thought.
Right,
Curran Johnny was just tearing things up, though. He was a problem. That guy's a freaking beast. Pete Samu played really well off the bench. Tom Banks. I love Tom Banks' running style. You don't think he's doing anything, and then he's gone. It's like, wait, where'd he go? Oh shit, he's already gone? Dude, he wasn't even doing anything 10 seconds ago. The heck? So yeah, Brumbies thump the Chiefs 54-17.
It was ugly. Like, yeah, I realized fairly early on while I was watching it that
bad things
kind of saw where it was going, and it was one of those you kind of had to hate watch through to the end. Like, oh, they scored another try on you. Fucking great job.
Good job, guys. Yeah, keep doing that.
Right, do exactly that. This is what I want to watch.
Oh man,
early on a Saturday morning. So I needed those Six Nations matches to cleanse the palate.
Obviously, you did. Yeah, no, I watched half the Hurricanes match, and then I ended up going meeting somebody to watch the Six Nations matches. With that, so one of the beautiful things about you and I being an American rugby fan, I talked about this with Big Fella, at the bar, and one of the beautiful things about being an American rugby fan is we don't have the tainted views of either the Northern Hemisphere guys or the Southern Hemisphere guy, where, you know, we had a Southern Hemisphere friend that you and I both know that was just barking about how terrible the rugby was that we were watching, and it's so boring, da-da-da-da. And then, you know, the counter argument to that is the same as Andy Good is, well, you play touch rugby with no defense.
Right.
And they're both probably a little true, but at the same time, like, as an American rugby fan, I can sit back and appreciate the two of them together and understand where the good is in both of them.
Sure.
You know, the tactics that come with the Northern Hemisphere are almost second to none, with the exception of a couple teams from the Southern Hemisphere, All Blacks, hello, and the Kiwi teams in the Super Rugby.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's not a lot of defense necessarily, but you can see the teams that are playing defense in this league in Super Rugby are the ones that do well. The ones the teams that can make plus tackles left and right usually end up at least in the playoff, if not in, you know, semifinal or final. So I don't know what your take on that is. I'm happy I get to do it that way.
Yeah,
and
well,
don't have to be bolted to an opinion.
Right, and that to me, that's kind of what. So when I've been looking around at the different squads that I've been following year in year out, the past couple of years, it's you're right. You see it. So, like, I saw it with the Taz. They had some decent defense, but they just couldn't get shit going on offense. They just couldn't do much. And then last year with the Blues, it was just kind of they were middling at everything. Like, they really weren't a great defensive team. They really weren't a great offensive team.
Still are this year. To be fair.
And now the Chiefs, fuck. There's no defense whatsoever. I mean,
they've forgotten how to play.
And that kind of pissed me off last week because they had the game in hand. If they just played a little bit of defense and played some tactics, and instead they said, let's just fuck around with the ball again. and so,
oops.
And this time they tried that again. Even when they were down, they were still trying to do, you know, I mean, you got to at that point. But at the same time, you have to at some point say, you know what, we got to start with some defense.
Yeah.
And that's where it all starts in most sports, because you ultimately want to score more points than the opposition.
Yes.
But some of the times the easiest way to do that is to limit what the other team is trying to do. Maybe
Absolutely.
at least try to. Because if you don't do that, then it's going to end up being a blowout. Or, and look, shootout matches are fun. Don't get me wrong. I love high scoring as much as watching a good defensive struggle.
Right.
But when it's got to be done right, and if it's just there's no defense whatsoever, it's just guys running through each other and not really challenging. Then, I mean, if you're letting teams score just so you can restart and maybe get the ball off the restart and play with it, what's the point?
Yeah.
Like, just walk off the field. You got to play a little bit of defense.
Yep.
But I involve the offensive creativity.
Obviously.
Though. So it's like, why can't they there's no reason that you can't do both.
Yep.
I want the best of both worlds, damn it.
Yeah, well, we get to watch the best of both worlds and not be super biased towards it, at least.
Right.
A few points, and then we'll go to pick them. We'll go to pick them. We don't need to. I don't have enough numbers to really validate any fantasy advice at this point, because
not yet. No,
I don't know a lot of the numbers from last year. So if I try and give something right now, I'm going to probably screw somebody. So let's not do that yet.
And I had to make a bunch of cuts, and the good news.
I almost won. I should have won. Damn it! I had like 130 or something like that. I'm so mad I lost.
I snuck one out. Luckily my opponent
went to sleep
a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still good players available on the waiver wire. It's just a question of who you want to give up.
Are you gonna be able to find the right week to start him? That's the other thing. Like,
right.
Van de Hever scored a lot this week for the Sunwolves, but you got to find the right week to make sure he turns it on.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah, of course. That was right after I cut him. So.
Yeah. Right. So a few players to highlight. Pataya from the Reds looks really good. He was tearing it up for them. Highlanders are probably lucky to get away with one there. So between Pataya and Karevi in the centers and the Reds, good luck. They're going to be very tough to stop. Isaac Rada, hats off to him. His dad died last week. Played his balls off. Absolutely, just worked his butt off and played really well. So hats off to him. Oh man, Wartahs. If they're beating the Sunwolves by 1 and the Hurricanes are beating the Wartahs by 1, that has me concerned, especially after this weekend watching them get hosed.
Yeah.
Garden Bashop should be the 10 for the Hurricanes if Bowden Barrett's not going to play. I know that much. For the Highlanders, Josh Ioane apparently has the 10 shirt, not Bryn Gatlin. He wasn't even on the bench last week.
Wow.
So that's I cut him loose.
Yeah.
Probably for the best. Eben Etzebeth returns for the Stormers and plays a huge role in them getting a last-second try to score. Took them 160 minutes of rugby to score a try for the Stormers, but hey, they got it done. So they were wearing wearing the Marvel shirts. Problem. A lot of red on the Thor, a lot of red on the Spider-Man.
Right.
So they had to change the Thor ones at halftime.
Oh my.
Because they were having problems sorting stuff out in the rucks and stuff. Like,
I'm sure.
Is that a Stormers player or is that a Lion? Oops. All right, let's go change that out. So they got rid of that. Quagga Smith played really well in his first game back as well. I'm worried about Sia Khaleesi being a name, but not really worth the fantasy value.
Points. Yeah.
I know he came off early last week, so I'm not worried about this past weekend. He played the full thing. It was a tough game. It was a tough game for the Stormers, so we'll see what happens. Maybe he opens it up, and if he does, then great. Too late. I can't get Shannon Frizzell because he obviously had a good weekend. And then Jaguares are not somebody to be messed with in Buenos Aires, and the Bulls found that out the hard way. They went in there with I don't even know what their game plan was, honestly. I think it was a rainy, nasty night, so. It didn't make things good. Kind of played in the Jaguares' hand, who have a pretty darn good, pretty good pack to drive. Not to say Bulls don't. One note for the Bulls: Lou DeJager came off the field with his arm pinned in his jersey, so that means he's probably got some sort of shoulder issue
or elbow.
Yep. And Jaguares were able to hold Roscoe Speckman in check. I think he got the ball like twice. So they figured out a way to cut. Their defense was very good. They were rushing up, getting right in Pollard's face, making sure that he had no room to work. So credit to the RGs. They played really well. Actually, Sunwolves were the only home team to lose. Oops. Sunwolves. Yeah. Hello.
Were they at home? Or were they still in?
They went back to Tokyo. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they'll be leaving the continent of Asia this week. So no more home eating. However much home eating you are, if you're not from there. One thing I will note: don't expect a lot from your halfbacks. There's only been like 3 weeks over 10 points at this point, or 3 scores over 10 points, and you talk about 14 chances a week or something like that, or 13, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's gonna be, be careful. So don't expect much. Sorovi did really well for you. Yeah. That was one of the few weeks that was really good.
Yeah,
Aaron Smith's been consistent with me. He had 9 and 9.9.
Right. Well, he didn't play we didn't play for the first 50 minutes.
So who knows what would have happened with that one?
Yeah.
All right.
So he'll be. I think Aaron Smith will.
He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
And Pernara hasn't played yet.
He's played 1.5 games.
I don't know that he. I don't think he started this week because I haven't.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
He didn't. He played one. Like I said, he came out for like 20 minutes. He should come on at the half. Honestly, Ben Lamb was a house. Though,
of course,
he reannounced himself like, "Hi guys, I'm still Ben Lamb. I'm still a unit, and I still score tries for fun."
Yeah,
and he got 2 this past weekend. All right, let's go to the pick M.
How are we doing?
You picked up a game on me actually.
Nice.
So, but I'm still 5 games up. So, small issue with that. All right. Gloucester with another another Friday game. They seem to. They I don't know what it is with the scheduler that did that, but okay. So Gloucester and Bristol.
I'm going to stick with my side piece on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're
away,
but
yeah, I'm with you on that. They're
on form.
They are white hot right now, man. All right. Welford Row hosts Leicester and Wasps.
Nobody. Fuck both these teams.
The earth opens up and they all fall through.
I am okay with that. No, I'm going to go with the Wasps.
Yeah.
Because I dislike them less than I dislike Leicester.
Yeah, I'll give it the Wasps because I bet you like Thomas Young plays this game or something like that. It's little help comes through.
Yeah, the Wasps are actually they're not playing too badly. I realized that this week
last week was a tough a tough result for them, honestly.
But I just think Leicester are a middling team and they're not showing much fight. So
yeah,
aside from after
fight.
The whistle,
scrappy dappy do.
Yeah.
Ollie said that this weekend too, and it just made my day. I was like, "Yes, thank you." I am laughing right now so hard on the inside. Bath Quins.
I got to go with the Quins. I'm going all visiting teams here, but I got to go on form more than anything.
Yeah.
And Bath, we've seen them fade, and
yeah.
I just trust the Quins.
I'm gonna go with Bath and Freddie Burns and co. Not saying that Quins don't have a shot, but Quins play a little worse away from than you probably want even.
I agree. I'm just not trusting Bath right now. Is really what it comes down to.
Fair enough.
They're finding ways to lose.
Yeah,
and I don't trust teams that find ways to lose even at home.
Same. I understand that. Saracens and Saints. Well, when the Saints, hopefully not this game.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go with the Sarries.
Yeah.
Because the Saints are also missing. Like, unlike last week, the Sarries will be facing a team that's also somewhat lessened by.
Yes, with some guys missing and hurt and all that good stuff. Away on duty. Sale and Exeter. Sale have been giant killer. They beat us at home. That was a Friday night game, though. It was. To be fair.
It was, but I'm still going with Sale on this one.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like Steve Diamond has his teams well, not so much
attention.
I think every so often, I think when in certain big games, he's coming up a little bit as far as getting them to play a little bit, a little bit better on form.
Right.
And I think at home that'll help.
Yep. All right. I'm not. Man, I hate to do it, but I think it was Sale. Yikes. Well, here's hoping, because if that happens, then hopefully we get a chance to jump on them.
Right.
All right. Big one at the bottom of the table: Newcastle and Worcester. Newcastle really need this to keep this a fight.
Is like for relegation. Almost.
Yeah, they basically will be. They're gonna be boned. They'll be 100% boned if they lose this game.
Yeah, and I think they do.
Yep. Oh man. After Worcester have beaten Leicester twice now, they've beaten some good teams. So I'll give it to them. And I'm pretty sure the reverse fixture went to Worcester as well. So could be wrong about that. I'll have to double check that. All right, down under. Hurricanes against the Brumbies. Oh, geez, apparently Bowden Barrett's playing in this game.
I would hope so.
Yeah. But Jordy isn't, because of the whole All Black rotating, resting. We don't have time for it, but we'll get to that, man. That's an odd thing to me.
I'm going with Canes.
Third time's the charm, Hurricanes. Hopefully, maybe that little bit of jet lag across the Tasman does the Brumbies in. Who knows? Rebels Highlanders. This is a tasty one.
Yes, it is.
This is a very interesting one.
There's possibilities
in Melbourne.
Rebels look good. Their first match get a little bit of a break, and come across the Highlanders, who they're a force right now.
Yes, they are. Josh Ioane's looking really good.
Yeah,
making Bren Gatlin be like, damn, I shouldn't have switched teams.
But I think in another, I'm going to go with the Rebels. I think I'm going to go with the home squad here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rebels off the bye. They got a lot of chance to watch what the Highlanders were able to do in the last two games. I'm sure they're going to.
Yeah.
Highlanders almost let that Reds match get away too, by the way. That score is close for a reason.
Yep.
All right. And then I do love Super Rugby, because we get to wake up on Friday morning and watch rugby and just be like, yeah, all right. Not a bad thing. As long as I don't look at the damn social media.
Yeah, exactly. That's the worst part. Flip to Twitter without thinking about it. Oh no, it's Friday. I can't do that.
Chucking across the room.
Right.
No!
I did not see that. I didn't see that.
I hope I didn't see what I think I just saw. Chiefs and Sunwolves.
Chiefs. One of the one match this year.
Yeah,
I can
you better
right
hope.
off the bat, just go
if
Chiefs.
this doesn't go well, then you need to start worrying. I'll stick with the Chiefs as well.
I will not abandon anyone mid-season. It's just will I be back for next year? And then probably not.
Reds and Crusaders.
Crusaders.
Who you got? I'm gonna pick the Reds.
There you go.
Because they impressed me. They actually looked really good. They had a lot going on for them. Haggerty's playing fullback for them, who could play center, could play 10 as well. So, and is technically listed as an outside back. He's a problem. He's a problem for a lot of teams. He's gonna be. Superhero game: Lions and Bulls. Which one gets back on the schneck?
I'm gonna go with Lions.
Yeah, they're at home. So, if the Bulls are gonna topple on top of the Lions,
this is it.
So they gotta do it. So I'm gonna go Bulls. Granted, they will have traveled from Buenos Aires, but I'm sure they'll rock up for this. I think they're gonna feel pretty disappointed after last week.
Right.
They laid a complete egg against Jags. Lions did let their match get away, but still, they didn't play terribly, and they're at home. The other one, Sharks and Stormers. Black Panther jersey will be on display for the Sharks.
Right. So I'm gonna go with the Sharks.
Yeah, me too. They actually. It's funny. They don't look like they've played their best, and they still look pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit worrying for anybody in South Africa. Jags and Blues.
And this one, Jags.
Yeah, same. Blues are another team that's gonna have to start proving it to me real quick here.
Yeah, obviously. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
But Jaguars, the way they've nutted up, especially at home.
Yeah, this will be the last one in Buenos Aires for a little while, and then they'll go on a little tour. Then they'll come back for a bye, and then they'll go on. Then they'll probably host So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see
long
what
trip
happens.
for the Blues.
Yeah, because they just played in Durban. Durban is hot. I will say that. Like I watched the Sharks Blues match while I was doing some work.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, they had a water break and everything. Like they were the scheduled water break.
Yeah.
It was hot in Durban. Looks like a good place to visit one day. You never know. All right. Anything I missed? Yay, no.
No,
I think we're good.
I'm good.
I'm good too. Yeah.
There was a little bit of the one thing I wanted to give is a shout out to two groups of people. One, Italy's women's team for beating Ireland.
No shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know,
That's an upset.
Right.
Talk about getting things turned on their head.
Right. Huge, a little bit of a shock there, obviously.
Right. Woo.
They took it 29-27. Halftime was 22-22.
Okay, so they were right there, man. Wow.
They were there the whole match.
Good for them.
So 22 all, and they end up with the conversion that wins it.
Azuri.
And then, of course, I can't not let this go, which is England obviously win, which was expected.
Yeah.
But man of the match, prop Sarah Byrne, who had a double.
Of course.
So I've been chatting up the wings from England.
Yeah, and then a prop.
Jess Breach also had 2 tries.
Yep. Sounds like they ran. I remember seeing this on Twitter. It sounds like they ran over them pretty good.
Right. It's as expected. It was 51-12.
Yep.
And France, no shocker again, 41-10 over Scotland.
Hosing Scotland.
So, well done to the women, especially Italy women. That's
a huge thing for them. Good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, Ireland are still not quite there yet. I thought, I feel like they could win. Or they again, I thought they were going to be the third team, but they're still not. I think they're still not
quite there yet.
Running into space the way they need to to put matches like this that they should win away.
Paid for it, obviously.
Yep.
Womp womp. Oopsie. Well, try again next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Anything else? We good? I'm good. All right. So everybody, thank you very much for listening. This was a lot packed into hopefully a shorter episode than it could have been. But thanks a lot for listening. Make sure you download us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all that good stuff. Rate us, send us an email, fancy.rugbypodcast@gmail.com. Follow Ben and I on Twitter, and put it in the show notes. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll be back with a lot more rugby next week. Cheers.